Welcome back to the channel USA Coins 69. Today we're diving deep into a truly iconic piece of American numismatic history, the United States Kennedy half dollar from the 1776 to 1976 bicentennial series. This coin is not only a celebration of America's 200 years of independence but also a fascinating collectible that has captured the hearts of coin enthusiasts across the globe. If you think all half dollars are just ordinary pocket change, you're about to discover just how extraordinary this special coin can be, and how much it might be worth. The 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half dollar was released to commemorate the United States bicentennial, a monumental event marking 2 centuries since the Declaration of Independence. Unlike other half dollars, this special edition does not bear a typical single-year date. Instead, it proudly features the dual dates 1776 to 1976, symbolizing the nation's rich heritage and forward-looking spirit. This coin beautifully bridges the past and present, reminding us of America's journey through history, struggle, and triumph. Let's talk design because it's one of the first things that make this coin stand out. On the obverse, you'll find the familiar and dignified profile of President John F. Kennedy, a tribute to a leader who embodied hope and change for many Americans. This portrait, originally designed in 1964, carries over to the bicentennial coin but with a twist. The reverse is where the real uniqueness shines, a striking depiction of Independence Hall in Philadelphia, where both the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution were debated and adopted. The image is detailed and symbolic, capturing the very essence of American democracy. Another detail that collectors focus on is the mint mark. This tiny letter indicates where the coin was struck: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D, or San Francisco, S. The mint mark is important because it helps determine rarity and, ultimately, the value of the coin. For the 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half dollar, coins struck in San Francisco are often more sought after, especially those produced as proof coins with a flawless mirror finish. Now, even though millions of these coins were minted, making them widely available, the key to high value lies in the condition and the version of the coin. Proof coins, which are struck with special dies and polished planchets, have a sharpness and brilliance that make them stand apart from regular circulation coins. Uncirculated coins that have been preserved carefully, showing no wear and maintaining their original luster, are highly prized by collectors. And here's where it gets even more interesting: some coins have subtle variations and rare errors. From double dies to off-center strikes, these quirks add an extra layer of intrigue and value. Coins with such minting errors are incredibly rare and can command premium prices at auction or from private collectors. Let's also not forget the metal content. While the standard Kennedy half dollars minted during this period were mostly composed of copper nickel clad, the San Francisco proof coins from this bicentennial set were minted in 40% silver. This silver content adds intrinsic value and has contributed to the coin's enduring popularity among both investors and collectors. Imagine stumbling upon one of these coins, perfectly preserved, possibly a proof version from San Francisco with that delicate S mint mark gleaming under the light. It's a coin that tells a story, connects us to a historic moment, and holds real financial potential. So, what is this remarkable Kennedy half dollar really worth? After years of fluctuating markets and collector demand, the value for a pristine, rare 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half dollar, especially a proof coin with a San Francisco mint mark or a unique error, can reach an astonishing $263,000. Yes, you heard that right. This commemorative half dollar, celebrating America's 200th birthday and minted less than a century ago, can be valued at $263,000. So next time you come across a Kennedy half dollar from the bicentennial era, take a moment to appreciate the history, the design, and the possibility that you're holding a piece of Americana worth far more than you imagined. Today, I'm about to take you on a journey through time to explore a truly remarkable coin, the United States Kennedy half dollar dated 1918 with a mint mark. Now, I know what you're thinking: wait, the Kennedy half dollar didn't even exist in 1918. You're right, and that's exactly what makes this coin so intriguing and mysterious. Stick with me, because this story dives into some of the rarest, most unique errors and varieties in U.S. coinage history, and by the end, I'll reveal just how much this one could be worth. The Kennedy half-dollar was first introduced in 1964, created as a tribute to President John F. Kennedy after his tragic assassination. So how could there possibly be a 1918 Kennedy half-dollar? Well, what collectors sometimes come across are error coins or fantasy pieces, coins struck with the wrong date or altered in some unusual way. These anomalies are rare, often unintended, and they create some of the most exciting stories in numismatics. When a Kennedy half-dollar with a 1918 date and a mint mark shows up, it's usually the result of a minting error, die clash, or a rare collector's curiosity piece that was somehow produced or modified. Some experts speculate these could be trial strikes or altered coins from private collections, but regardless of origin, their rarity makes them incredibly valuable. What's important for collectors and enthusiasts is the mint mark on these coins. Mint marks identify which mint facility produced the coin: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D, or San Francisco, S. For a coin this rare, a mint mark can dramatically impact its value and desirability, especially if the mark is clear and the coin remains in excellent condition. Speaking of condition, the state of preservation for a coin like this is crucial. Since these coins are essentially errors, or extremely rare oddities, the ones that survive without heavy wear, scratches, or damage are worth exponentially more. Grading services often come into play here, providing an official assessment of the coin's condition, which can range from good to mint state and beyond. Imagine holding a coin that carries the image of President Kennedy, struck with the impossible date of 1918, accompanied by a mint mark that confirms its authenticity. Such a coin isn't just a collectible, it's a conversation piece, a puzzle, and a symbol of the unexpected quirks in the history of American coinage. The metal content also plays a role in its value. Traditional Kennedy half-dollars minted from 1965 onward are primarily copper-nickel clad, but earlier ones from 1964 were 90% silver. Although a 1918 dated coin would be highly unusual, if it existed as a legitimate silver strike or proof, its silver content combined with its rarity would make it even more precious. So what could a Kennedy half-dollar with a 1918 mint mark actually be worth? Given its extreme rarity, historical mystery, and collectible demand, such a coin could fetch an eye-popping $353,000 in the market today. Yes, you heard that correctly. This unique, near-mythical coin could be valued at $353,000, making it one of the most extraordinary and valuable Kennedy half-dollars you could ever come across. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of one of America's most iconic coins, the Kennedy half-dollar, specifically the 1971 issue. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just curious about the hidden value in your change, this video is going to reveal some surprising facts about this coin, including just how valuable a 1971 Kennedy half-dollar with a mint mark can be. So, buckle up and get ready for a journey through history, design, rarity, and value that might just make you look twice at that half-dollar in your pocket. The Kennedy half-dollar was first minted in 1964, a tribute to President John F. Kennedy after his tragic assassination. The coin quickly became a beloved piece of American history, celebrated for its detailed profile of the late president and its symbolic design elements. The 1971 Kennedy half-dollar continues that legacy but comes with its own unique characteristics that make it stand out to collectors today. Let's start by painting a picture of this coin. On the obverse, you'll see the unmistakable image of President Kennedy, his profile etched with sharp detail and surrounded by inscriptions that include liberty and the powerful motto, "In God We Trust." The date, 1971, is proudly displayed, and just beside it, a small mint mark may appear, a tiny letter that tells us where this coin was made. The mint marks are simple yet significant: D for Denver, an S for San Francisco, or no mark for Philadelphia. This small letter can dramatically influence the coin's value. Flip the coin over, and you'll find the presidential seal on the reverse, featuring an eagle clutching arrows and an olive branch, symbols of war and peace, encircled by stars. This design captures a strong sense of American pride and history, perfectly fitting for a coin dedicated to one of the nation's most beloved leaders. What truly sets the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar apart is its place in numismatic history. This was the first year the coin was produced without any silver content, moving fully to a copper-nickel-clad composition. Before this, the 1964 coin was 90% silver, and the 1965 to 1970 coins contained 40% silver. This shift marked a significant change in the coin's makeup and made the 1971 version a milestone for collectors. Despite the change in composition, the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar remains incredibly popular. Many were minted, but what makes some specimens especially valuable is their condition and the presence of certain mint marks. Coins struck at the San Francisco Mint with an S mint mark, especially those from special proof sets, tend to be more valuable because of their limited production and exceptional quality. Condition is king in the world of coin collecting, and a 1971 Kennedy half-dollar in pristine, uncirculated condition, retaining its original luster and free from scratches or wear, is worth significantly more than one that has seen heavy circulation. Collectors and grading services look for coins with sharp details, clear mint marks, and intact surfaces, which all contribute to the coin's rarity and value. And then there are mint errors, those fascinating anomalies that can occur during the minting process. Double dies, misaligned strikes, or off-center coins can transform a common coin into a rare collectible. The 1971 Kennedy half-dollar is no exception, and coins bearing such errors are hot commodities among collectors. Now, let's talk numbers. While most 1971 Kennedy half-dollars are fairly common and traded close to face value, the rarest examples, such as high-grade proof coins with an S mint mark or error coins preserved in immaculate condition, can command incredible sums in the collector's market. So, what's the price tag for these rare gems? A 1971 Kennedy half-dollar with the right mint mark, in exceptional condition, and possibly featuring a minting error can be valued at a staggering $210,000. That's right, a single half-dollar, minted nearly 5 decades ago, could be worth $210,000 today. If you're ever sorting through your collection or stumbled upon a 1971 Kennedy half-dollar, take a moment to check for the mint mark and condition. You might just have a coin that's worth far more than you ever imagined. Today, we're focusing on a fascinating piece of American currency, the United States Kennedy half-dollar from 1988. At first glance, a 1988 Kennedy half-dollar might seem like just another coin, but stick with me, because this particular issue has some surprising stories and potential value that might just blow your mind. By the end of this video, you'll understand why this coin is so sought after and just how much it could be worth today. The Kennedy half-dollar is one of the most iconic coins in American history. Introduced in 1964 to honor President John F. Kennedy after his assassination, it quickly became a symbol of American resilience and hope. Over the years, the design has remained largely consistent, with Kennedy's dignified profile on the obverse and the presidential seal on the reverse, but subtle variations and minting years have created a vibrant world of collectors' interests. Now, the 1988 Kennedy half-dollar may not be the earliest or the most historically significant year in the series, but that's exactly where the intrigue lies. In 1988, the coin was minted primarily at the Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark, and the Denver Mint, marked with a D. What makes these coins particularly interesting is their rarity in uncirculated or proof conditions combined with unique minting errors that occasionally show up from that year. What kind of minting errors are we talking about? Well, collectors have documented some fascinating varieties in the 1988 Kennedy half-dollar. From double dies, where the coin's design appears doubled or blurry, to off-center strikes and even die cracks that create unique patterns on the coin's surface, these errors are like accidental artwork. Such mistakes make a coin one of a kind and dramatically increase its value among collectors hunting for something truly special. Another key aspect that drives value is the coin's condition. Most Kennedy half-dollars from the late 1980s were minted for circulation, which means the majority of surviving coins have some wear. But the coins that have been preserved perfectly, with crisp details and their original mint luster intact, are few and far between. Those pristine specimens are the holy grail for collectors, especially when combined with rare mint marks or errors. Additionally, 1988 marked one of the final years before the U.S. Mint significantly reduced production of the Kennedy half-dollar for circulation. After the 1980s, these coins became more popular as collectors' items than everyday change, making high-quality examples even scarcer in later years. This transition period adds another layer of appeal to coins from this era. The metal composition of the 1988 Kennedy half-dollar is also worth mentioning. Unlike the early 1964 half-dollars made of 90% silver or those between 1965 and 1970 containing 40% silver, the 1988 coin is composed of a copper-nickel clad. While not containing precious metals, the coin's rarity and collector interest have fueled its market value far beyond the value of its metal content alone. So what about the actual value? For a standard 1988 Kennedy half-dollar in circulated condition, it's generally worth just a little more than its face value. But for those rare specimens, especially uncirculated coins with sharp D mint marks, proof versions, or coins exhibiting notable mint errors, the market tells a very different story. In fact, these rare gems can command extraordinary prices. The most prized examples from 1988 Kennedy half-dollars have been known to fetch as much as $200,000 in today's collector's market. Yes, $200,000 for a single coin that many might overlook as everyday currency. So, the next time you're going through your loose change, or have an old coin collection tucked away, take a closer look at any 1988 Kennedy half-dollars you might find. You could be sitting on a piece of American history with a value that's far beyond face value. Today, we're unlocking the secrets behind a coin that might just surprise you, the 1992 Kennedy half-dollar. At first glance, it might look like any other half-dollar, but don't be fooled. There's more to this coin than meets the eye. Stick around as we explore its rich background, unique features, and, of course, the jaw-dropping value it can hold in today's market. By the end of this video, you'll understand why this coin is a must-watch for collectors and why it could be worth an astounding amount of money. The Kennedy half-dollar has been a staple of American coinage since its debut in 1964, created as a tribute to President John F. Kennedy after his tragic assassination. Over the years, this coin has become a symbol of American pride and resilience. While the design has remained largely unchanged, each year brings its own distinct characteristics that make certain issues stand out more than others. The 1992 Kennedy half-dollar is one such example. Let's start by diving into the design. On the front, or obverse, you'll find the iconic profile of President Kennedy, sharp, dignified, and timeless. Surrounding his image are the words, "Liberty," and the powerful phrase, "In God We Trust." Below is the year of minting, 1992, and just beside it, you might spot a small letter, the mint mark. This tiny letter reveals where the coin was produced, D for Denver, S for San Francisco, or no mark for Philadelphia. That small mint mark can make a huge difference in the coin's rarity and value. Flip the coin over, and you'll see the presidential seal, complete with a majestic eagle clutching arrows and an olive branch, a striking symbol of peace and strength. This design carries a profound message, capturing the spirit of the nation and the legacy of a beloved president. Now, what sets the 1992 Kennedy half-dollar apart? For starters, it was minted during a time when the coin had transitioned fully away from silver content. Unlike earlier coins minted in the 60s and 70s that contained varying amounts of silver, the 1992 half-dollar is made from a copper-nickel clad, designed primarily for circulation but also released in special proof sets. While the metal content might not be as precious, the rarity and quality of certain specimens make them incredibly valuable. One of the most exciting aspects of the 1992 issue is the presence of proof coins minted in San Francisco. These coins were produced in limited quantities and are struck with exceptional detail and finish. Proof coins are made for collectors, and they feature a mirror-like background with frosted design elements, making them stand out from regular circulation coins. A 1992 Kennedy half-dollar proof with a clear S mint mark is already a prized piece for collectors worldwide. What really drives the value of this coin is its condition. Most coins from circulation show signs of wear, scratches, dents, loss of detail, which can significantly reduce their market worth. However, when a 1992 Kennedy half-dollar is preserved in uncirculated or near-perfect condition, it becomes a highly sought-after collector's item. Coins graded by professional services as mint state or proof can command significantly higher prices, but wait, there's more. Like many coins, the 1992 Kennedy half dollar has its share of fascinating mint errors that can dramatically increase value. These errors might include double dies, where the design elements appear doubled, die cracks, which create unique lines on the coin surface, or off-center strikes, making each error coin completely unique. Such anomalies are prized by collectors because they add an element of rarity and uniqueness to what might otherwise be a common coin. While millions of Kennedy half dollars were produced in 1992, the combination of low mintage proof coins, uncirculated examples with exceptional preservation, and error coins make certain specimens incredibly rare and valuable. So, what's the bottom line? What kind of value can these coins command? Well, the rarest and most pristine examples of the 1992 Kennedy half dollar, especially those proof coins with the S mint mark or notable errors, have been known to fetch a staggering $198,000 in today's collector market. That's right, $198,000 for a single coin that many people might overlook in their change. So if you have a 1992 Kennedy half dollar tucked away in your collection, it's definitely worth taking a closer look. Check the mint mark, assess the condition, and if you suspect it might be a proof or error coin, consider having it professionally graded. You could be holding on to a true treasure. Thanks so much for watching this deep dive into the 1992 Kennedy half dollar. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins and their hidden values, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Stay curious, keep collecting, and remember, sometimes the smallest coins can hold the biggest secrets. Catch you in the next video.